Thanks very much, President, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, can I say, as you know, Simon Coveney, Minister for Agriculture, was to be here. So at the last minute, because of unforeseen circumstances, he was not able to be here. So I'm just standing in on his behalf. But I am, I suppose, pleased to have the opportunity to address the conference today, particularly the theme, the role of the cooperatives in improving producer influence in the global food supply chain. It is recognised worldwide that Irish farm products are probably the best in the world. Indeed, we Irish farms so close to the environment, indeed having full regard to best animal welfare practice. Whether in Ireland or internationally, the food supply chain cannot function without the primary producer. His input is the bedrock upon which the food industry is founded. Indeed, at high levels, whether they relate to animal welfare or quality or economics, they impact on the entire supply chain. It is also the case, primarily because of the issues of scale, that farmers are the most vulnerable operators along the supply chain. The cooperative movement is critically important response to this dynamic and has played a vital role in giving farmers a voice in the marketplace at home and indeed internationally for a long period of time. This conference is important exploration of the theme, and I look forward to hearing what the various contributors have and various people representing the co-ops across the country have to say in relation to this. Price volatility relating to both inputs and outputs have been a significant feature in the global agricultural commodity for a number of years now. Of course, this can be both good and bad for farmers. Dairy farmers, you know, have enjoyed strong prices over the last 2 years in particular, but we are entering a period of greater challenge, greater volatility, as you all know. High production costs, various issues are affecting this. Volatility is clearly an ongoing challenge facing the industry, and it is important now that all sectors involved in the food chain take a step up to manage that volatility and indeed the farmers' confidence in it. To this end, my colleague Simon Coveney, as you know, is organising a conference on the 19th of November to deal with a lot of the issues, and I would encourage many of you, particularly those in responsibilities around the country, to attend it, and indeed it should be a very worthwhile from a cooperative point of view, but also from the ordinary farmer's point of view. The past 12 months, I needn't tell you, has been tough on our beef farmers, and I fully recognise their frustration. It is the farmer who is the most vulnerable. We need to find ways to ensure that farmers have more negotiating power with the processors and retailers in order to make sure that they can secure best prices. The reality is that there's a lot of unsureness with farmers as they go to sell their cattle. Too many of them say, I got 10 cents more or 20 cents more. This is not security, and the beef industry cannot go forward with that, and that is hugely, hugely important from the producer point of view. We've all seen how effective the Irish dairy cooperatives have been in securing strong markets throughout the world for milk products by their members in the form of dairy products. This involvement of the cooperative movement in the dairy sector over the last decade or so is a clear indication of how coming together of primary producers can get a very strong return from the marketplace, and maybe that is something that has to be looked at into the future to give that certainty that we talk about. In relation to the beef sector, My department has recently engaged in a consultation process on the recognition of producer organisations, and I am pleased to say that we have received a very positive response from all the stakeholders. There is clearly an appetite for the introduction of beef producers organisation, and once they are established with the right structures and deliver added value to the producers. As said previously, I strongly believe that the producer organisations have the potential to be a real game changer in the beef processing sector, and certainly our department will be in consultation with ICOS in relation to this as we go forward. I would like to conclude by giving some commentary on the two agricultural sectors most closely associated with the cooperative movement in Ireland, mainly beef and dairy, and that are so critical to the economic recovery we are witnessing here in Ireland. The standout growth of the agri-food sector is demonstrated by developments in the dairy sector, where all the players are responding to the obvious opportunities that lie ahead as we approach the abolition of the milk quotas. The abolition, of course, represents the biggest positive development for Irish agriculture for over 30 years. In preparation for quota-free environment, the sector has achieved great success in highlighting its excellent reputation worldwide, and indeed resulting in increased market opportunities. I and my colleagues will work with you to ensure that this trend continues in the post-quota era, and indeed that excitement that's right throughout the agricultural community, the many young farmers that are now ready to take over on dairy farms, that they will be supported and help. As I said earlier on, there has been much focus on the beef side in recent months, and it is understandable given the decline in the prices from the high level experienced last year and the impact this is having on the incomes of family farms. I want to see a thriving beef sector in Ireland, and to that end we have announced a 74 million package for the beef sector as part of the budget 2015. We are rolling out a 6-year genomic scheme that will pay €100 for the first 10 animals in the suckler herd and €80 per head after that. This places us in the leading edge globally in improving the genetics in the beef herd. Indeed, Board Bia's marketing spend for beef has been increased in the last 12 months to help market our beef as a result. So let me conclude by congratulating ICOS in discussing this very important aspect of agriculture today. The challenges that are out there are huge, but you and it gives, I suppose, I'm proud and pleased to have the opportunity to speak to you, the leaders of the organisations throughout the country. The reality is there are a lot of farmers, particularly in the dairy sector, looking at expansion, borrowing a lot of money and indeed facing into huge challenges. They need the support. ICOS is the organisation that can actually help and work the whole industry through that. So that's why I'm here today, to acknowledge the support and indeed acknowledge the contribution that you're doing in relation to this great industry. Thank you very much.